Assalamu alaikum again. Mbali hako danila. Muta nang kotenke mbali hako dan because nga start leda kuntuta. Video nying kuntuta. Comme nga fa ñame mba fiato fo kan comme ko jamanke ki ang internet de barbitu malo muneka wo sabu. Because most of the time nka enjoy la dal nimbe silo kan katara diamo la wakati nka like bakela. But comme janim bita nyato drong la fita drong ka ningal hako dandin ko la bawo meng starta kuntu tan sa fali comme ko ala baraka kal tentu kal kontong al tolnal kontong la atul membe jiben drola ni men binan jiben na atul membe lamoy rola ni men binan lamoy la ko nga fala nyame atul jibendir lalu atul kumo ka bontol le da kono bari atul hakilo warran tolti anda la jibendro anala comment solo akantol karandile akam mako e famma jiyola karola akam mako e hakilitu la karola akam mako e mbe kuma si famen fola mbe mem fola pour sama kamala bawon ko kumo kuma diamu ndol natul bele dental wala mu banko la koti anim patiyo la kuo nali bele denta wala ntol be mu gambia no lel. So mina kuma kamo men di fola jambi a manke komen ko ntemu loyalty and a manke komen ko UDP la stand te kana wala fo jam but la personal opinion lafta wala fola jambi la personal opinion mu menti comme nga fa ñame manke loyalty bari mbe nga lon ne ko loyalu fana mu hadama dingol lelti andi ke hakilo le yusi ka karang yela karang lo ke yela bukulu karang yela dokulu tamande mbadat la menna wala ko nden na loyalty na legal team UDP la legal team me blemde ntela jeroto aninga kuma kamlu menu moy nga kuma kamlu menu karang nga comment sol menuje ndela jeroto na legal team ma mistake okay na legal team o inyanta menkela ye woleke and they did it yake in a very extreme situation whereby womanke to la faulty but Gambia jurisprudence la fault le what ndela hadamadi ya miro to nga mirako Hassan Jallow Justice Hassan Jallow the honorable CJ nga mira I mistake oleke ala judgment thing was a mistake nta accuse la mundalile atina mistake okay because nta hakilo kono and we mantra mo sondo mo kono ala tella man mo men fengo men be mo sondo mo kono wom ala la judge ala la tati o mankentol hadamadi ngol tati nta fono la ko nyin dalil karnat na nyim mistake ko nyin dalil karnat na nyim mistake ko nte wo fono la nte mu hadamadi ngolati andu nga bunya alfa lemu alfa konkondi ngol mate nga bunya bari mfana nga feeling sot la nga miro lo sot la komen ko ay mistake o la ke nyin joint and wo mistake o nyindung amo hadama dingolati amanke malaikoti amanke alati I miss because mbal hakilo bulan la menna wolem ko naliye sirifo sonko la case nyin jibeng ko nga fa nyama ndamanke loyati de bari ningna hadama di ya miro nata na understanding jam fataji abe wo judgment kono le by Justice Awaba mi alon ko fana mu Supreme Court judge olati ko Supreme Court pour ka sirifo sonko la case nying samba Kaboni High Court ka refer to the Supreme Court o manyan na kala the decision of the judge. It has to be the decision and the lawyer parties of the case la decision yanta kala wallet pour ka wo case ni samba Supreme Court akobari what decision on you wo procedural decision the coming procedural and technical decision on wallet so wo procedural decision on you or judgment on you justice ni procedural justice ni failure in that should not stop the substantial judgment or justice to prevail. wala mo nyintiko wo procedure ni menka ka court wo mu courthouse court la management on nying the technicalities involved wo manyan na substantial justice nying stop la nindela understanding nying nata correct wole be water and there are and wo judgment nying justice our bale wo judgment di but Supreme Court Justice Chief Justice Fanang is a signatory to that judgment because he is the Chief Justice and he is part of that Supreme Court judges. So, there are enough legal cases, case laws. Miya Lonko, Ntengala Miloto Justice, Chief Justice is aware and is part of some of those case laws. Miya Itendi Komenko. Technical procedures, technical proceedings, the procedural matters should not stop. Mbadingolo nadiamo kunta nindunta nga understand say nindunta forest muno kono yirol siata damento aka connection on yin disturb nga wole understand say because most of the time ninga nyin diamol start ni ata am on the way aka interruption no soto ni ata ndunta dulami alanko forest muno len comme yirol siata comme quand même for wala nyintiko there are a lot of case laws in the Gambia jurisprudence or even outside cases. Procedural matters of justice cannot supersede substantial justice. You have to, procedural matters cannot stop you from listening to the merits of a case which has a substantial way of providing justice to a majority of Gambians. So, ning ayata misal face Supreme Court Chief Justice now judgment on the Iowa was partning ignore. What until a personal opinion lenko. The legal team of UDP in Nyanta case review judgment review case Nyanta will file before the very Supreme Court may decision on Nyanta. Yes. They don't have to be worried about the results of their judgment, what they are going to do. They are going to reject it because it is the same body, may a case in judgment on him pass. Don't worry about the results. Worry about the action that you're doing. Is it supposed to be done? Yes, the likelihood is that they are going to reject. If judgment no kelala miya lonko abek matanying reject la kotanka near judgment review case in file, it is likely that if I reject la kavakomenko yes, ila judgment no has to stand. That should not stop you from doing the right thing, from challenging what you think is wrong. New worker, if they decide to judge, if they decide to reject the review, you can proceed to this ECOWAS court. Kata ECOWAS court, ka case ning litigate. ECOWAS court, people misunderstand this ECOWAS court case. ECOWAS court will not take a decision the election of the Gambia is annulled. No, I don't personally believe that that is going to happen. But what ECOWAS court can do is to force the Supreme Court to listen to the merits of this case, which is supported by more than 200,000 people of the population of the Gambia. It can force them. Or, that is one thing. The ECOWAS judge says Supreme Court force knowledge, additional knowledge that can make the Supreme Court to invite the parties back to the court and listen to their evidences and the merits of the case and make a judgment that is going to benefit the jurisprudence of Gambia and also the whole of Africa benefit. It should not be a matter of Supreme Court here decide like okay, we are the last court of the land, but decide like and abekala wala nyama. Every time ninga problem all sort of me alonko amanya na kala wanyama. That is one thing. The second thing is, second reason is Nia filed to the Supreme ECOWAS court. The Supreme Courts again, they can write to the ECOWAS court and say, okay, now Ali ignore Ali in case in drop. We are going to invite them, all the parties, to come before, and we are going to review the matter and let the Gambian people listen to the evidences. That is also a possibility. And that is also a win, not for the UDP, but for the country and Africa as a whole. It doesn't have to matter for Supreme Court judges only a case rejected against UDP or against Barrow. That is not the problem. The problem is there must be a decision. The Supreme Court should take a responsibility. This election review, the election petition matters most of the time. Supreme Court or the court can reject it. And it should not be. Because everybody knows that from 1965 up to now, fraudulent election 𝒂𝐝𝐸𝐸 Bangkok. Decision about those things. But that is my personal opinion, that it has to go to the ECOWAS court. Because Nia Jefananko Mantola loyal blame. Supreme Court Chief Justice George Mendy about a case, about this lateness and all those things. He did not tell us why our legal team is late. Akawo late men or cases all men court and the like. Amma for Gambia nyoli mune ya tinna me ya tani come ngontola George Solu ndola loyal or later all man late. My fellow citizens, there is a lot in this case me alonko, an ordinary person like you and me will not understand. And it is the duty of the Chief Justice, particularly because he had appointed to take care of those things. Akafu da mentoko allegedly. Ndola moli a court case in file on the 14th of December. On the 14th of December. And ye notice on 𝒂𝐚𝐸𝐞 to the State House on the 15th. And that is done by the processors of the of the court. What a case notice in tried by all means 𝒑𝒑 𝐼𝐿𝐺𝐻 𝐶𝐶 for the president. The Supreme Court, the Chief Justice agreed on the terms. He relied on those notice. That notice was properly done. And that notice was done by the officials of the courthouse. The other part nying mi ya lonko akafo komenko among agreement na the master of the court serving the notice or the service of the master of the court to the president. Ako among agree wala, and that because of that disagreement, that made our people to be late, to have a lateness in doing that service. But what he did not tell us, why did that happen? Ndila understanding and in listening to the legal minds and listening to other people, many yalonko, reading papers and others, way mending now, mina wala falajang. Wala mnyintiko. Near case petition or file. There is a requirement for the party may a petition or file. Puruka ka fonko ke ka bond payment ke inyantale bond jole and near bond payment ke inyantale ya make soko wa bond payment kola menyanta kela wolem komenko, they have to serve the other party. Wobe wolem rule 11 nyint wobenna lual konole. Yes. So bari men man understand, men mol man men understand is wo rule nyin kono or rule nyin ma indicate that bond member jola how much is supposed to be paid and where is it supposed to be paid. Wo luwa nyin o man ndela understanding to wo man indicate ji akola drong ibe bond jola le near bond nyin near petitioners file because of the law file nyin ibe bond nyin jola wala mu kodot ibe kodo jola wo kodo nyin jorin kola inyentele ye petition on the other party in serve so that within 5 days, so that I say prepare, pour kaji komenko yem petition le asala loyal prepare and everything. Bari na luwa lukono amantra je how many dollars is lebekela wo bounty among specific. And secondly, where are you going to do that payment? Ofana mantra luwa kon. It is the duty of the Chief Justice to review all these matters in the law. Mea Blanco, parliamentary lual mendida lual meni alonko, they are incomplete. At lado kwole mo kawolu find out, kawolu complete. Either through the authorities I mentioned, or let to bring it back to the House of Parliament, pro lual means complete. So until la loyalu, kabiri ye case in file on the 14th. On the 15th, your case notice on Samba State notice on makes or Africa State House on the 15th. They don't know where to pay that bond. What legal bond or bond you amounting. What mantra indicating the law lokono ibe joro kela mintole number 1. Ibe jelle jola number 1. Iba jola mintolo mantra ji. Chief Justice man wodoko tamandi kaje komenko. Those incomplete laws will complete. Wobo no bota je loyale na start koten ka saferoke ka indicate ka court safe. Yes, nga petition no safele nga andu nga notice nyinkile, but we have understood that komenko nyanta bon le jola o bon nyi nyanta jola jele nyanta jola anyanta jola mintole o mantra luakono. Then thereby the master of the Supreme Court or officials of the court house will write back to our people to do those, to tell them, to direct them how they are going to do that, because amantra luakono. They all better in that legal limbo. This is my understanding. Nga understand and nga cool men lamoy. So the court officials na the legal team direct pour your payment soul or payment soul will keta. That is about 300,000, which is very expensive. No will keta. And the ya for albita jola bank jumal. Me ya lonko man indicate no luwa nyinkon. And wobekela wato menna ni olke or notice on nyanta safel again within 5 days. And what information it was about on the 20 it's almost late within that 5 days. And the mole payment so on the 20th, to my understanding. What payment okay on the 20th. And on last day nyanta kela niaka on the 21st nyol janin service over keno. It is the court officials also, may I indicate Komenko, that is okay, they are going to do the rest of the service. And this is what happened. So, ning ayatara misalfe on the 14th ndolonga case in file no. Na moliel case in file. If it is indicated in the laws how much money be menjola and where to pay it, that on the 14th itself we are going to naturally they will do these payments. So, but niaje mo payments okay because a mandra na luwa ko na Chief Justice la responsibility lan kaje komenko way clear. You can't understand. I may be wrong, but come and human understanding of the whole story is not finding out and the like. I'm not talking on behalf of the legal team of United Democratic Party because I'm lawyer. But in the human understanding of the matters, so will your payment okay on the 20th, which is within the limit of the time. So, money atin imake on the 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, for 20. That is all the fault of the courthouse, the Chief Justice, because at lenyanta woluala nyunu gibenna, wale atina be 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐫𝐶 nga appoint, because the Supreme Court cases all canal once in a blue moon. But I tell la jela anala official so lokaje komenko ni luwa kari man complain, ni luwa kari man complain, ni luwa kari man complain. So alinge complain men nyanta kala ngoluke. So wol dolu manke. Ndola mole joroke on the 20th. And the master of the Supreme Court, yeah, for Komenko, they will do the rest of the service. So, in Rule 12, Chief Justice ko agree to court official service system on he agree with them, and that is properly done. On Rule 11, Akama agree court official service service should be done by ourselves, not the legal team. Was service by our legal team directly. They can understand. But for credibility purpose, the legal team, they may have their process service. Many killer electoral dandang and the like. New World Tata State House example. Do you expect them to let them in to go and meet the president or to meet the chief of protocol? Security may even reject them. UDP la lawyer la process service or not la president herself. There could be a credibility purpose there. Maybe also they may not even give a good signature. They may not even sign. But the master of the Supreme Court indicate coming up a service killer. So nintola molu latita wola. The lateness in Chief Justice Co. This is not our fault. This is not the fault of the legal team of UDP. It was the fault of the Chief Justice and his officials. That is my understanding. Muneatina 5 years. wo loophole nyimbe wo rule 11 konole be jelle jola as a bone iba jola mintole wo man clarify wo man definitive. So ninto lamolu later for a problem, and that reason was because of the Chief Justice la job nying, or the Chief Justice manyan substantial judgment nying denial because of procedural judgment or arrangement, technicality. Until a personal opinion be wala feel. I may be wrong. And if I am wrong, I will not hesitate to come and apologize here. And if anybody thinks that Komenko nka memfo I'm a rontale, please educate me, enlighten me. Aling enlighten. Narisi no lu Komenko nyuneta ye review case in file and in naya rejected as ECOWAS court. These are the two reasons. One, namolu later menna, it's not their fault pruka late. It is in the law ko bon be jolale, but bon amount mantaraji, abejola mincholo mantaraji. They had to write to the court, the officials of the court, Kaifoyoko, advise us how we are going ahead with this matter, because ntolonga na case nying na file anu nga notice nyin safela. Nga notice nyin futa na state house. The court not na muru ke advice alba jola nyim bankare ne albenyi amount of money le jola. And they were able to pay that on the 20th. But that service should be done within five days now again. Well, that 5 days nying so the court promised to do that. Court here promised to do that for them. So, Ning Rule 12, the Chief Justice agreed on the service that is rendered by the court officials na noticing to go and serve the president. Ning Atamis Alves, Master of the Supreme Court for Nangina Foko, it is okay. I advise and the more advise to go and do the payment and the service will be done by them. Why would the Chief Justice not will agree with one part of the court officials for doing one job and disagree with court officials for doing another job? And that job is not our fault. It's not the fault of the Gambian citizens. Wale ya chinna, ntenga filko, inyanta case, judgment review case ni inyanta file before the same Supreme Court, ni a reject they proceed to ECOWAS court. ECOWAS court coming now for Nyama Menkela Wolem, ECOWAS court afono come Gambia election is annulled. We are not even interested in that. But what ECOWAS court could do is to tell the Gambian, to tell the Supreme Court of the Gambia, listen to the merits of this case. You have to. You have to listen to the merit of this case. Allah imagine a sitting before the Chief Justice at a judgment Kenola on that case because the order motion Mambang. But they tell our people, all the parties to bring in their evidences and their witnesses to be filed in the court. Namolia, they have over 30 people. Me aloko became witness and lot of evidences here also. Those things went to the Chief Justice Tabuloka. Chief Justice in the court your evidences all jelle. And they come back in turn and say, na case in dismissal. They know the tone of evidences our people brought. They know the people, the witnesses from all over the country. With tangible evidences. The Supreme Court has seen that. And in turn, they come around and say, we are going to dismiss this case. And you have people who are saying that we don't have evidences. Those evidences are filed at the Supreme Court of the Gambia. The people who are saying that UDP do not have evidences. We have our witnesses, the witnesses only affidavit solely sign and affidavit solely joy sign and evidences and everything, and all are registered at the Supreme Court because that is what the Chief Justice decided so that he will be able to complete this matter within 1 month or less than that. So more many evidence also. You don't know what is going on. Nte mantra Chief Justice accused la Comenko abe fenne ke kamialo nefarious no. Nte manke wo mo sifati. Barin se mem fo wala mnyintiko. Ko in case nying need to be reviewed. If the review is rejected, we need to proceed to the Supreme Court, the ECOWAS court. The United Democratic Party owe this to their members, their party members. And they owe this to their members, party members, and they owe it to the Gambian people. Kajeko, Lua Etama, Chief Justice Nala Jojo le responsibility ta. Whether they are going to rule in favor of NP President Barrow or they are going to rule in favor of Adama Barrow, that is not our problem. Our problem is there should be a responsibility. They should take a responsibility. Yaja alinga tonya. Konga funya menta fono la mundalile na Chief Justice yin decision onyinta. But yaja naba nyama hani ECOWAS court fango sa fono Chief Justice yin nako. Listen, CJ. Ni tebe George Panelo Nyinkono. Idingo, Iwulu Dingo is a party, is a lawyer to the other party. It is wise enough puru ye recusal nyinke ite ebo case nyinkono. You leave it with some other judges. That is wise enough. Because mune asabu, it can make other people come media come hakili fula soto. Atlemu Jojoti, Adingo is a lawyer for other party. Puru hadama dingoli yo miro fankana bulang kungolu kono. Chief Justice Fanyanta fambond la case kono. That is one point me along ko menyanta putla to the ECOWAS court. Because a case should be seen to be fair, to be ruling should be seen to be fair. Should not be fair, should not even only be fair, but it should be seen and expected to be fair before the judgment is done. And these are some of the things me alonko can taint a judgment. Ma foko menka ate tutonya fola da hanna trap a dingole be lorin box ko na hanna te ka dingole samba kitiola as a tonya fono le. Yes. Mbelieve ta wala so okay no le. Because mbelieve la komenka asan jalon ta accuse la komenko any other thing. Al falem. Bari hadama dingolu kungo kono milalo membe keleje woka important na nin case betama la court house kono. So, more than many kafun toluman judge toluman evidence also sota. Al tolumalong al kamemfo. Alta Supreme Court alien yin kabam fon tolunga witnesses sol anila name sol nila affidavit sol aning evidences and proofs. Fongo present lebang. Alta later afon lawyer leo present lebang. I am seeing people me anko they are even educated. Educated people. Wala nan yin educated yin kaiti ku educational mbaka believe ala. Because buke kumole use buke hakilo use. I'm sorry. You see people, they have this master's degree, this bachelor's degree, this PhD holders. But ima wisdom or sota. Ima wisdom or sota. Ima hakilo soto ke mira. It had a sit on exam result, exam what ya pass. Ntolunga evidence also and nga present to the court and don't court family or demand. Register all your witnesses and their names and your evidences to the High Court because we want to plan everything. Kajukomenko, everything is done within a matter of 1 month. That was completed before the last sitting. For ngana evidence only everything be sambalia, and I believe your evidence is all new from court. If we allow this case to be litigated, the president is going to lose. That can be our feeling. So the president is going to lose. What we are going to do is we are going to rely on some technicality to dismiss this case. What technicality you found woman can tell the fault. Ali nyininka anga kumakama memfoting. Bone payment rule 11 altajeba. Akombe bone jola but albe bone jella jola man identify. Abe jola min jola man identify. All paying the law luakonol. So that nintola molia case in file on the 14 watermen. That on the 14th and on the 15th, and we do the service within the limited time. So eventually blame la kula me along kwete fang la do kola. And the saddest part of it is to penalize the whole country. Media more than legend. I'm going to reiterate again. Na legal team, na albe la moylan. Ndema UDP representative, ndema manke loyalty de. Na hakilin dingolo na mira lolo na korosi lolo nka wala fajang. Ale case review, judgment review case ni ala file to the Supreme Court. And you don't have to think about 4 reject la 4 reject la. We don't have to care about that. Ni ano ya reject, ni ano ya accept. ni are reject, we go to ECOWAS court. And let kind of mirror the results of the ECOWAS court. Maybe they may rule against us or they don't rule against us. That doesn't matter. What matters here is, are we doing the right thing? Are we doing what is supposed to be done? For the party, for the supporters, and for the Gambian people, and at large for the African continent. Nyanta wala kala. Ni ECOWAS ya reject, fine. That's okay. And if we don't have to care for President sworn in, the farmer sworn in. No. If the matter is registered at the ECOWAS court, that can even tell the president and his people that come and go, we didn't have this thing on a blanket, you know, on a plain sheet of paper. And that is going to moderate and advise their activities and their behaviors. But I mean, they may think that, okay, we get everything, we can do whatever we want. Alinkana so one. Wole mun nakumu mbadan la janne, mbali tentula mbali jaila, mbafula liyeko alama banko sola kairo, alama ntulu beso la kairo la, si maya jata kende aning harje fringo, alama banko sola kairo, alama banko tankala kata aning katatol, alawo mari, banko mentolu be dentala, ntinatolu be dentala, alama alayo banko nying alaya so kairo la, alaya so kairo la, kairo mi alonga asente nafa, al tol nafa, al ndingol nafa, al dingol nafa, ay mobe nafa. Wala mun telanga niyoti pour Gambia, because Gambia tonya modo fa kunun ko kunun be ngana fonko ko war mena modo en safana ko ako lara jete ako the Facebook noise maker one seku barole ma fa ay Italy address fa mo Gambia li ban fo fa ma tol ako Facebook noise maker ngama sa ben da handla noise la yalo ngam nek mbukala fi ka mol block bar ngata block la because ate fa left la ngada handina noise like akon dem noise maker lati so bar ngamina say mbe noise ni mbe mol da handa noise anka okay mamol be londe bari to mbe ta handa ndala noise lal because mbe ta block la le ba wata fon la tak ngi block so ko wala mbe wala nyaba bari bitu ngani membe ke ntolo safo no janna boy jamu Europe lati man kabrin singo dun tanyim banko kambe do ko wala man. I'm telling you, Mr. President, ila one of ila ba fenyo la kadiamu de yala ko man do ko bari safo kambe dun tanyim banko sanji tanim feng do ko wala de, definitely speaking. So ntafono la ngasidro nga nyakas ika understand nga nyakas nga concentrate na cool kan, you know, bari nka menke bankole mu dunia cool be wala nyama. Mr. President, ite fanga sino le majum officer ko na yela business ok, but he decided to be a president. For that little Martin decided to be a president. So abe wala nyama ala baraka baka mbadi alla moy lalu nkontanta bake ali time wota kala moy adu mel bina alla moy la ko tanka ala baraka ala mon beso la kairo la UDP legal team, go ahead, I cannot give up. You are doing the right thing, continue to do the right thing. Ala samba al case in review nima accept, you go to the ECOWAS court. The ECOWAS court for an additional mentor, that is it. You have done the right thing. We never we have never leave anything unchallenged, anything wrong unchallenged in this country. Everything to nga feel Komenko is wrong, we challenge it. And let's do it. We are doing it. Look at the 𝐀𝐝𝒄𝒦𝒐𝒍 case. 𝐀𝐝𝒄𝒦𝒐𝒍 case mentor I asked somebody as a Supreme Court.